Yo, what's up everybody, it's your boy Game Over, back with another Wildlands video, and today I have the mother of all leaks for you. This is a monster leak. It is a whole bunch of information, a whole bunch of images on the upcoming DLC Narco Roads for Ghost Recon Wildlands, dropping on the 18th. Now, all this is thanks to a man, my boy, he goes by the name of JRavens. He has just sprung all this information on us, and this guy, I mean, what a guy. He could have kept all this information for himself. He could have gone and put his watermark all over all these images, claimed the exclusivity, kept it for himself, but he is so much bigger than that. He's so much better than that. He's even gone so far as to put a note at the end of his post, and it reads: notes to YouTubers. If you are a YouTuber and you want to include this info in your videos, you have not only my permission but my encouragement. The only thing that I would ask in return is that you please include a link in the video description to this thread, and also please link my YouTube channel. This guy, he is a modder, he is an administrator, he is a YouTuber, he is just, I don't know, a Reddit user. He's just a monster. This guy has got more skill upgrades than my Ghost Recon Wildlands character. So we are going to jump straight into today's video, and it says that he was able to take a look inside of the files and get a glimpse at a few things about this DLC. No actual data or numbers were visible, but he has got some cracking images for us to take a look at and some real interesting stuff. Now, sadly, he says the Narco Roads DLC is pretty much what you would not expect from a tactical and stealth game such as Ghost Recon Wildlands. So pretty much what we've seen in the trailers is what we're going to get: a colourful, over-the-top Fast and Furious race theme DLC. Now, he found this pretty odd, given that Ghost Recon Wildlands is a combat-focused game, and its driving and flying controls and physics are largely flawed. Now, it baffles me that they've created a DLC focused around the one area the game is clearly weak in, which is the vehicle use, vehicle driving. The first thing he found odd was Narco Roads is listed internally as DLC 20, while Fallen Ghost is given the designated slot of DLC 10. Now, this doesn't mean that there is no other DLCs. He did not find any other DLC designations visible, but of course, it doesn't mean that there's no more DLCs coming. We could definitely see more ghost packs, weapons, weapon skins, you know, missions, and all the rest of it. Now, he does say that he does think Narco Roads is out first because, once again, Ubisoft is attempting to hold the better DLC, the better being the Fallen Ghosts DLC, for the final release so that they can stretch out the season pass. They did this apparently with Far Cry 4 and other games, where they held what seemed to be the most interesting part of the season pass till the very end. So apparently Ubisoft do this regularly with their games. However, this does have an upside. It gives them more time to work on the Fallen Ghost DLC, which will be released at a future date that we still don't know. But so maybe it's for the best. It will result in us getting a stronger, longer, and overall better experience from the Fallen Ghost DLC. Now, we are going to move on to the part you've all been waiting for, which is the images, the brand new images we have on Narco Roads DLC. Now, the first of which is titled Loading Screen for DLC 20. Now, he does say this is probably not the final art. It's probably temporary because it's marked with the word placeholder, so it seems likely that it is not the final art. Now, what we can see from here is possible new outfits. I'm not sure if that's the AK. It does kind of look like it is. Might be a new weapon. Either way, we have got a plane that kind of looks like a Spitfire. Don't quote me on that. I don't really know my planes. We've got a kind of tuned up car, a muscle car, what seems to be a muscle car next to that. Then my personal favorite, the monster truck in the back, and a kind of old school bike that kind of looks a bit like the one we have in the game that we find around Wildlands, but like a beefed up version of that, a better version of that. So that will be cool. I can't wait to get my hands on that. Next up, we are going to talk about cast. Now, there was a leak previous to this leak, so we know that Narco Roads consists of 3 gangs. Now these 3 gangs have 3 bosses, and then there's like a main kind of boss of these 3 bosses that goes by the name of El Invisible. Now they've decided to keep El Invisible a mystery, but we can finally put faces and names to the other 3 gang bosses. Now I'm going to go show you these in no particular order. Their names are Tony Mateos, Arturo Rey, and Eddie Escovedo. Now, here we have Arturo Rey, this creepy pedophile looking El Mustachio, with some weird tattoo gone wrong on his face. And yeah, the least we say about him, the better, I think. Now, we have next up Tony Mateo. Now, he kind of reminds me of DJ Perico for some reason. I don't know why. He does kind of have like an air to DJ Perico. Then we have Eddie Escovedo. Now, he kind of also reminds me of someone in the game. I don't know who. Next up, we have El Invisible. Now, like I said, they've decided to keep El Invisible a mystery. But interestingly enough, his portrait name is El Zamora. Now, what could this mean? I have no idea, but it's just there for you to, think of it, whatever you take away from that, whatever you want to take away from that. Now, he also found this happy chappy that goes by the name of Sonrisa. He does state that perhaps he is an informant or a rebel that helps you in your quest to infiltrate these gangs and take them down. Now, for those of you who don't speak Spanish, Sonrisa means smile. Yeah, so anyway, moving on quickly. So next up, JRaven also found that there is a list of activities that were available in the DLC. So we're going to be showing you these also in no particular order. The first one is aerobatics. This will probably involve some flying under things, through things, around things, the typical kind of flying game stuff. Yeah, whatever. So then we have airspray, some kind of crop dusting or aerial smoke effects task that you need to perform. So that will probably be something to do with aerobatics also. We have animal traffic. Now this was also leaked previous to this leak. Some speculation about it maybe having something to do with the Yeti. So it will be interesting to see how this is implemented into the game. Will there be actual wild animals that can attack players and enemies, or will it just be like a race to the crate, to the drop-off site or whatever? So yeah, that's going to be pretty interesting to see. Then we have a take on Breaking Bad, an Easter egg, if you will. It's called Baking Bad. Yeah, okay. So that's maybe something to do with busting up drug cooking operations. Obviously by the name Baking Bad, and its take on Breaking Bad. Yeah. Next we have coca fields. Now there is no image on this, so he doesn't really have any idea what this is, but it is there in the files, coca field. Who knows what kind of mission this could be. Maybe obviously something to do with a coca field. Maybe you've got to destroy a coca field or race around the coca field, I don't know. So there is also drift, that pretty much speaks for itself. If you don't know what drift is, it's a kind of skill you do in a car. Is where you take corners going sideways without losing control of the car. You've probably seen it in lots of films and stuff. So yeah, drift. Then we also have this picture here, which is Electro. Now we already knew this picture existed, we'd already seen it. So this is pretty much just confirmation of this picture, and it seems that they have some kind of lightning bolt icon, which to me this just confirms that you can have like a nitro feature, nitro boost in some kind of race in Narco Roads. So this next one is called Impossible Hill Climb. It consists of more than likely impossible hill climbing. This will probably take part in the more mountainous regions of Wildlands. It has to do with the monster truck that personally I can't wait to get my hands on. This is probably one of the only vehicles I really want to just, you know, drive around in this whole DLC. But yeah, so there's that one. Then there's also one called Jump. Now this seems to obviously have something to do with what the name states, jump. Maybe, you know, you'll be given points on distance or on kind of acrobatics you do. This acrobatics one I kind of doubt. I don't see them implementing like backflips, 360s and Supermans into Wildlands, so it'll probably have something to do with jumping over stuff or just jumping for distance. We'll have to wait and see again. Then we also have trials. Now, what, you know, car racing DLC doesn't have trials? It's, you know, that was kind of a given. That was going to be in there, some kind of time trials to complete various types of racing courses and whatnot. Then there is also something called Vehicle Spy. Now, again, there is no image on Vehicle Spy, but we can guess that maybe it's something that you need to follow an enemy vehicle and maintain a certain distance to listen in on the conversation. You know, we've seen this in previous games. It's something new there. Or maybe tracking a vehicle or tagging it somehow, or being the first person to find this vehicle and stealing it, or something along those lines. Next up, JRaven also found something called Informer. Now, this doesn't have a picture, but with the name Informer, there's not much information on it, but we can imagine that maybe it has something to do with the Happy Chappy we showed you before that goes by the name of Sonrisa. You know, this being a vehicle-based DLC, I wouldn't be surprised if you had to go and locate an Informer and get him to from point A to point B safely, with the other gangs trying to kill him, or maybe you have to get to the Informer before the other gangs get to him and give him he gives them the information. You know, it could involve something to do with having to pick someone up at point A and deliver them to point B, something along those lines. Now, in regards to the new vehicles, there is no specific data about certain vehicles, but all of the images seem to suggest that we can expect a lot of skins and customization for the cars, trucks, motorcycles and planes and so on. Now, obviously the biggest addition is the monster truck, but like I said, sadly we just don't know at the moment whether we will be customizing these vehicles ourselves. You know, I assume like in a kind of garage or something, or whether these vehicles will be assigned to us pre-made, you know, before each race, each event or each mission. So that, again, that's just something we are going to have to wait for the Narco Roads DLC to drop so we can find out. Now, on another note, moving away from the customizing and the race side of the DLC, he found something called Retrieve a Map. Now, this DLC seems to contain several treasure map images with locations circled on them, which kind of indicate to having to get a map. Then once we find the map, we will have to proceed to a general location where we will have to maybe study the image and try and figure out where the treasure is hidden. So nothing new there. That screams Assassin's Creed. You know, we've been doing this for quite a while on Ubisoft games. However, something that has absolutely nothing to do with Assassin's Creed is all the HUD related images that he found that corresponding to a fake social media account and your position compared to the racing gangs of the DLC. Now, there is apparently followers that you need to collect to move up the spectrum of races and events, and there is also a series of images labeled Instagram that you either receive, you take, or are otherwise used to move the whole story along. So it seems we are not only competing in the races for first place, we are also competing for Instagram followers. Now, could it be that once we get a certain amount of Instagram followers and fame, that one of the rival gangs bosses will contact us, and maybe this is how we infiltrate ourselves into the gang and get near the bosses? Let me know what you guys think on this subject and all the others that we have covered in this video. That brings us to the end of the video. Feel free to hit that like button if you liked the video, if you enjoyed the content. Please go down into the description below and show my boy JRaven some love for all this beautiful leaked content that he blessed us with. And It's your boy, Game Over, signing off till another video. Take care of yourselves and peace.